do this. All right, cool. Oh, hey, glad you can make it. My name's Sergio. Today we're gonna go over HD6 bearing replacement and servicing. The first step is to check the conditions of your bearings. You could do that by removing the bearing cover with an 8mm Allen. The bearing should feel smooth as you rotate. It may need to be replaced if it feels notchy or gritty and does not spin freely. If it feels like there's sand in it, you're gonna know. These are heavy-duty bearings which do not need frequent replacing, but servicing them once a year is best practice. We also recommend checking the upper link while you're here. To do that, you will need to remove the cranks and disassemble the bike. We have a video on the disassembly and assembly procedure for the Ripmo and Ripley, which is linked in the caption below. While it's possible to replace the bearings in the upper link, it's not easy. It's faster and more efficient to replace the entire assembly. This part is also available on sale on our web store. The major differences between the HD6 chassis and the Ripmo Ripley is that the HD6 does not have a flip chip. Also, the HD6 and the Oso have a bearing in the rear swing arm, which is probably why you're watching this video. To extract the bearings in the swing arm, we recommend purchasing our Clemens Tool, which includes dedicated adapters for this process. Once your swing arms are removed, so now go ahead and begin the process of popping these bearings out. On the Clemens adapter tools specific to the HD6, it will have some verbiage on each adaptive piece, giving you instruction for extraction and installation. So we're going to start by using the T-handle, and I will install my DR17289 adaptive piece to the T portion. Line that up to my bearing. Secondly, I want to watch and make sure that I am installing the correct piece. So I want extract facing inward there, and small handle here will begin to thread. Once we got that nice and tight, just apply a little bit of pressure, and that bearing should just fall right out. We're gonna go so it's broken loose. Go ahead and remove the back end of the Clemens. Careful not to scratch anything on here. Bad bearing. Alrighty, now we'll begin with the installation of a brand new bearing here. Just want to make sure this whole surface area is nice and clean. You can use a small rag. Then what we're going to do is reverse this process. So I am going to install my T-handle on the back end of the swing arm. I'm going to use my DR17289, and we're going to use the install portion, which has an arrow. Lay that in place and long threads. All right, as we get nice and snug, I like to just check, make sure my adapter is in line with my bearing. Make sure it's sitting nice and straight. The back end will sit nice and flush. And I'll begin to press in on that. The bearing should be very easy to slide on in. If you do find that there's a little more pressure necessary, definitely want to make sure that that bearing's going in nice and straight before continuing. So I'm going to turn this until I feel a bottom out. I'm going to crack that little loose, just enough to move my adaptive piece there. Sometimes this has a tendency to kind of walk on you as you're pressing in, so I'm going to realign that with my bearing. And we're going to snug that down once more. Doing this should allow you to press the bearing all the way seated. And you'll feel a nice bottom out there. Once we've set that, move the Clemens tool. And now, once I've got my bearing set in place, I'm going to double check that it's fully seated. I'm going to check in on the inside of the frame, and we just want to make sure that there is no gap between bearing and carbon there. So that's fully set in place, and we're going to repeat that same process on non-drive side. All right, now that we've got fresh bearings installed, we're going to go ahead and slap this bad boy back on the bike. And now we're ready to ride more and work less.